Welcome back to the Blue Collar Boxing Podcast. I am Luke from Biloxi. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Give me a follow on X at Blue Collar Boxing. Well, in the last 24 hours or so, we've had a few news items drop that I think are worth covering here. First off, it appears Gervonta Tank Davis's domestic violence case has been dropped by prosecutors after it appears the victim in the case does not want to move forward. This is pretty typical in domestic violence cases. Oftentimes, the victim's financial stability is tied to the suspect, and they have to go through the terrible, terrible experience of having to testify. So, I'm not at all surprised. I'm not saying he did it, but I kind of anticipated this outcome one way or the other. Good for Tank. Hopefully, he can get his personal life in order. But that moves us on to what he should do next. And without a doubt, without any hesitation, Tank needs to give Lamont Roach a rematch this year. November, December at the latest. Plenty of time for a good camp, plenty of time to get back in shape. You've kind of held Lamont sort of at bay, not able to take an interim fight because of a rematch clause that Tank himself said he was going to execute. So any other fighter except maybe Teofimo Lopez. If for some reason Tank Davis were to end up fighting Teofimo Lopez, I would not call it a duck. But any other fighter than that, you need to rematch Lamont Roach at 135 instantly, or it is a duck. Sorry if that triggers some Tank fans. If you don't agree, let me know in the comments. Uh, I'm not going to relitigate the entire last fight, but the referee was just completely atrocious and one of the biggest fumbled calls in certainly recent memory and perhaps in the history of the New York State Athletic Commission. I mean, the ref literally started counting and then decided he didn't want to count anymore after not admonishing Tank for going to his corner and getting his face wiped off. I'll leave it at that. Won't belabor the point. Rematch Roach immediately. All right, next. It appears Sky Sports is reporting that Alexander Usyk has asked for more time for negotiations with Joseph Parker due to an undisclosed injury. The WBO recently ordered that the two fight. Uh, Joseph Parker is the WBO interim champion. He won that title from Zhilei Zhang. He defended it once against Martin Bakole. That interim title, this iteration of it, has been around since Joe Joyce fought Zhilei Zhang almost 3 years ago. I believe it was September of 22. So the belt's been around a while. I see both sides of it. You know, Usyk has defended that belt 5 times since winning it against Anthony Joshua. He defended it against Joshua. He defended it against Dubois. He defended it against Fury twice, and then he defended it again against Dubois. All 5 of those defenses were against opponents who were ranked in the top 1, 2, 3 in the world at heavyweight. So I understand if Usyk doesn't really want to be told what to do right now. At the same time, I understand Parker's position. I'm the WBO. Let me not get those two confused. WBO interim champ. I deserve my shot. It's my time. I got back in line. I won 6 in a row. I put myself as a mandatory. It's time. What I find interesting about this is many of you may remember the reason that Alexander Usyk was able to force a fight with Anthony Joshua in the first place is he had been WBO and undisputed champion at cruiserweight. WBO gave him a special distinction as super champion. This is not to be confused with anything that the WBA does or anybody else. It's just a distinction. It's not a belt. What that distinction allowed Usyk to do was claim mandatory status at the weight class above. So he was able to say, I am the WBO mandatory challenger at heavyweight. Joshua, chasing dreams of undisputed against Tyson Fury, took the fight because he wanted to keep that belt and keep undisputed alive, and the rest is history. So I think Usyk understands that this is either going to happen, this fight, or he is going to have to relinquish that belt. Uh, with Dillian Whyte and Moses Itauma fighting, Itauma ranked number 1. There's going to be some interesting things that come out of this weekend, and whether or not the WBO elevates Parker soon, then we could get an Otama or White versus Parker. That could be a fun fight. You know my pick on that one. And that brings me to my next topic about Dillian Whyte being in excellent shape. I saw some training video. He looked slow and plodding, But yeah, he looks great. He's got a defined jawline. You can see it in his neck and his face. There's some pictures out there. He's got, visible abs. Good for you. Professional athletes at a world-class level will always have the ability to come in and look great. Okay, Evander Holyfield, uh, Mike Tyson, you know, had a lot of people fooled going into Jake Paul fight. I know this is different. He's only 37. But my point is, go watch an NFL Sunday show here in the United States, a pregame show. You will see numerous former players in the NFL who look outstanding, and they look like they could still play at a high level. They can't. That's why they're at the desk, but they look great. That's what I think we're dealing with here with Dillian Whyte. If you are changing your pick because Dillian Whyte is in shape, you got another thing coming. He hasn't won a significant fight in like 4 years. The fast twitch is gone. He's noticeably shorter than Itama, and the range matters, especially when you're dealing with speed. I applaud him for getting in shape. I think it's a good thing. It could also be a bad thing in that maybe he left too much in the gym. Maybe he was so focused on losing weight and being lighter and being faster, he overtrained. That's another aspect of this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. This is the Blue Collar Boxing Podcast. There's a chance that I'll have to be working Saturday night, but if not, I plan to live tweet the fight and also do an instant reaction video after. Hope to see y'all there. Be safe and take care.